We often see celebrities as like living in another world,
Right,
like all
yeah.
like red carpets and those huge mansions.
Yeah.
But those recent wildfires in Los Angeles
Mm.
really, um, I think it really showed everyone that no one is safe, from nature.
Mm-hmm.
And so today we're going to deep dive into some of those stories, those human stories that we saw in the headlines uh, about how this disaster, really affected those people that we normally only see in Hollywood.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting to see how something like a wildfire, it kind of breaks down that barrier that we think celebrities have,
Yeah.
where we think they're immune to this sort of thing.
Right.
And it really shows us that we all share that same experience.
Mm.
And, sure, they may have more resources than us, but losing a home, especially a place that's filled with, years of memories and history,
Totally.
that's got to hurt just as much.
Exactly. And I mean, the number of celebrities who lost their homes is just staggering.
Yeah.
You've got Jeff Bridges, Paris Hilton,
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis, Alyssa Rivers. It's crazy. And all of a sudden, it's not just about celebrity gossip.
Mm.
It's about real people
Yeah.
who are facing a real loss.
Real loss.
Um, and what was really interesting to me was how many of them, like, found out that their houses were gone through the news just like us.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That is interesting. It's kind of a crazy thing to imagine, right? Finding out your house is gone while you're watching TV.
I know.
It just shows how fast these fires can move and
Yeah.
how much chaos, just erupts from something like that.
Yeah.
Like, Paris Hilton was with her family when the news broke.
Oh, wow.
Talk about a surreal experience.
I can't even imagine. Like,
Yeah.
it makes you think about the impact that something like that would have on you, right?
Right.
To experience that kind of traumatic event through the media,
Mm-hmm.
instead of being there, it's got to be this strange disconnect, right?
Totally.
Like a delayed grief almost.
Absolutely. And I think it brings up some questions about celebrities, and
Yeah.
their public versus private lives.
Yeah.
We see them as these larger than life people, but then something like this happens and all of a sudden,
Yeah.
they're just like us.
They're human.
They're human and they're vulnerable.
Yeah. And speaking of being vulnerable,
Yeah.
let's talk about those celebrities who documented their evacuations and experiences on social media.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing to hear about a disaster, but to actually see people going through it online,
Right.
those raw emotions,
Yeah.
that's a whole other level.
It really does give you a window into what was happening right then and there.
Yeah.
Like, actor Brian Greenberg and his wife Jamie Chung,
Yeah.
they shared their escape on Instagram stories. It was crazy.
Right.
And it wasn't just about their own house either. Chung talked about their neighbors and how they were affected too.
Oh, wow.
Especially the retirees,
Yeah.
people who had worked their whole lives to finally own a home.
Right.
And now they're watching it all go up in smoke.
Yeah, that's a powerful reminder that these disasters really hit the most vulnerable people the
Right.
hardest. Those retirees,
Mm-hmm.
they probably don't have as much money to rebuild.
Right.
And their whole lives, all their memories are tied to those homes.
Absolutely.
It's just another layer of this whole tragedy.
Yeah, and obviously some celebrities will have the money to rebuild more easily than others, but
Right.
you have to remember that a lot of them, maybe their careers aren't as big.
Yeah.
So for them, the financial and emotional toll could be just as bad as it is for anyone else.
Totally. And then there's the question of what would you grab if you had to evacuate?
Oh, yeah.
Like in those few minutes, for a lot of these celebrities, it wasn't just about losing their houses.
Yeah.
It was about losing all the irreplaceable stuff inside.
The things that tie us to our past,
Yeah.
our family, our memories, our sense of self.
Exactly. Like Melissa Rivers, she saved her mother's Emmy Award,
Wow.
which is like a priceless family heirloom. But others, like Sheen Aiko, the singer,
Yeah.
she lost everything.
Oh, wow.
She posted on Instagram about starting from scratch.
It's heartbreaking.
I know. It makes you think about what you would take,
Yeah.
Like, would you grab photo albums or letters or artwork?
Mm-hmm.
The stuff that you can't replace.
Right.
It's a huge loss, even if you make it out alive.
Absolutely. And it's interesting how everyone processes trauma and loss differently.
Yeah,
Even in this group of celebrities who all went through the same event,
right.
you see a whole range of reactions. It's fascinating.
Yeah, it really shows you how differently people can be,
Hmm.
when it comes to bouncing back from something like this.
Right.
Like actress Ricki Lake, she's still struggling with it.
Oh, yeah.
She and her husband lost their dream home in Malibu,
Wow.
the place where they got married a few years ago.
Oh, no.
She was posting on Instagram trying to like save the house.
I remember seeing those posts.
Yeah, it was rough.
I mean, it's one thing to hear about a celebrity losing a house, but to actually see them going through it,
Yeah.
that desperate hope that just fades away as the fire gets closer.
It really makes you realize that they're just people like us.
Exactly. It takes away that celebrity thing and you see the real person underneath. And then you have other people who, they're sad about what happened, but they're trying to focus on the good stuff, like
Right.
how strong people can be and how everyone's coming together to help.
Right.
Like Miles Teller and his wife Kelly,
Mm-hmm.
they lost their home in Pacific Palisades.
Oh, wow.
And Kelly posted this really sad picture on Instagram. It was like the last picture she took of the house before it burned. But her message was all about how grateful she was for all the support they were getting.
It's amazing how, even in a tragedy like this, people can find a way to be positive.
It is.
It makes you wonder if going through something like this, as awful as it is, maybe it brings people closer together.
That's a good point. It's like that saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Right.
But like on a community level.
Yeah. These fires really push people to their limits.
Yeah.
But they also showed how much love and support there is in those communities.
Totally. And it makes you think about all the people who weren't directly affected by the fires.
Yeah.
But they saw what was happening and they wanted to help.
Yeah.
Like this ripple effect, It made people from all over want to do something.
Yeah. Like Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, yeah.
Her house was fine, but she donated a ton of money to help people.
That's awesome.
And she worked with the government to make sure that money got to the people who really needed it.
That's amazing. It's so cool to see someone using their fame and their money to actually make a difference.
Yeah. And it wasn't just about donating money either. A lot of celebrities use their social media to share information and resources.
Right.
And just to send messages of support to people.
Which is a good reminder that social media can be good for something.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
In this case, it was a great way for people to connect and support each other.
It really brought people together.
And, of course, we can't forget about the firefighters.
Of course.
I mean, they risked their lives to fight these fires and protect people.
They're heroes.
I remember seeing posts from celebrities like Carrie Elwes.
Yeah.
Just thanking those firefighters for everything they did.
It's incredible what they do, putting their lives on the line like that.
I know.
Yeah.
It's truly inspiring. Yeah. And, it's not just about the immediate response.
Right.
The recovery effort is going to take a long time.
Sure. Months, maybe even years.
But it's so great to see how everyone's coming together to help.
It is. People from all over the country are donating money and volunteering their time.
It's a testament to the human spirit,
It really is.
Yeah.
The fires might be gone, but rebuilding everything,
Yeah.
both physically and emotionally, that's just beginning.
Right.
But seeing everyone work together to help each other heal and move forward, that's what gives me hope.
Yeah, it's really amazing to see how even after all that destruction, people are still finding a way to be positive. It seems like a lot of these stories are about, finding a new perspective.
Right.
It's finding something good even when things are really bad.
Yeah, I think the way people choose to look at what happened to them, it really makes a difference in how they cope.
It's like with Adam Brody and his wife, Leighton Meister.
Oh, yeah.
They lost their home in Pacific Palisades, too.
Wow.
But just a few days before the fire, they were at the Golden Globes.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
It's this weird contrast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Going from Hollywood glamour to losing everything.
It really makes you think.
I know. And it reminds us that all that stuff, it doesn't really matter in the end.
Right.
What really matters is the people we love.
Totally. And speaking of that, we can't forget about those celebrities who lost things that were really special to them.
Yeah, like Billy Crystal.
Oh, yeah.
He talked about how his house in Pacific Palisades was full of memories. All those years raising his family there. He said it was full of love and beautiful memories that can't be taken away.
Yeah. That's so true.
That really stuck with me.
Yeah. It shows you that even though you might lose your stuff,
right,
the memories and the people you love, those are the things that really matter.
Exactly. And Jennifer Grey's daughter said something similar on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
She said that a home isn't about the walls or the furniture. It's about the family.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
And for some people, like Gina Knowles, Beyonce's mom,
yeah,
her house in Malibu was more than just a house.
Right.
It was her happy place. Like her own little sanctuary.
It shows you how much our homes can mean to us.
Yeah, they become a part of who we are.
Exactly.
So when you lose that, It's like losing a part of yourself.
It's a really deep loss.
And as we wrap up this deep dive, it's clear that it's going to take a long time for people to recover from these fires.
Absolutely. Rebuilding everything is going to be a huge challenge.
Yeah, but we've seen so much strength and resilience in these stories.
We have people are coming together to support each other.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing we can learn from all this is that natural disasters don't care who you are.
Right.
They can affect anyone.
Rich or poor, famous or not.
Exactly. And when something like this happens, it brings out the best in people.
It does. We see so much courage and compassion and resilience.
And even though there's been a lot of heartbreak,
Yeah.
there's also been so much love and support.
It's really inspiring to see.
It shows you the power of the human spirit.
And as we think about all of this,
Yeah.
it makes you wonder how we can keep that same spirit alive.
Yeah.
Even when there isn't a disaster.
Like, how can we create stronger communities and be more prepared for anything that comes our way?
Because at the end of the day, it's our ability to come together and help each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's what gets us through tough times.